They looked awful. Canes just skated by him, skated through him yesterday. The series is done. The series is done, right?
2 home Canes and 2. One more home game and,
you know what?
Put it away.
Bury him tomorrow. Bury him tomorrow night at PNC Arena. That's Brian Murphy. Dennis Cox here with you this afternoon. Graham Hill producing us here on 99.9 The Fan. Canes got a massive 5-1 win in Game 1 yesterday. We hit our 3 stories here at 3 o'clock. They got the start to the series and the start of the game that they needed, Brian, because this was a Devils team that just played on Monday, a Game 7, having trailed in that series 2-0 against the New York Rangers, come all the way back to win it in 7 games. Oh, then you got to go and play Game 1 right away, and the Canes jumped on them right away. And they looked fresh. Canes looked fresh last night.
Well, that's the benefit of putting the Islanders away in 6.
Yeah.
Plus, Rangers-Devils is a rivalry. I mean, that the amount of emotion that goes into winning that series. And then, to jump on Akira Schmid so quickly, not let him get established, to chase him out of the game 2 minutes into the second period. I don't know if you could write a better script if you're the Canes.
You can't. And Rob Brindamore, head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, discussed starting off the series well.
That was obviously the way you want to do it. I think I heard what they said, but they're coming off an emotional series, 7 games against the Rangers, all the hype, and then had to turn around and come right back at it. And we're sitting here resting. So I was a little bit concerned that maybe the layoff would, I don't know how we were going to respond, but you could see we had a little more legs. And, they got going as the game went on, but that's probably what happened there. So credit to the guys, we came ready to go.
All right, so that's head coach Rob Brindamore after last night's 5-1 win, and he said it. They have more jump. That Devils team looked flat in the first period, and that's to be expected. There's a come down after a Game 7 win.
Well, the Jarvis goal was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, we'll get into Jarvis in a second.
And the speed. And I thought the most important goal was the third one.
Yeah.
A strange play where the Devil player loses his helmet, has to leave the action, ends up with right on the doorstep. You put the goal away, and now you're up 3-0. You chase Schmid, and that's sort of a 3-goal lead. I know is the worst lead to have in hockey, but it felt like there's no way the Devils are coming back from 3-0. They played a lot better after that. I thought New Jersey played a lot better, but if you're only down 2-0 at that point and you start to play a lot better, that's a whole different game than the 3-0. I thought that was a definitive goal right there.
And that was Jesperi Kotkaniemi's first goal of the playoffs as well. I actually thought defensively he was really, really good yesterday. Now, this is Jordan Martinook talking about, Rob Brindamore said, hey, the Devils weren't the Devils that we're used to seeing. Jordan Martinook echoed those same things last night.
Yeah, I think came out right from the start. We had a plan of how we wanted to do it and try and limit their rush chances as much as you can. That team thrives on, getting too aggressive. And, I thought we did a good job of being above it for the most part all night, and trying to grind it out down low is I guess it's gonna be hard, but I thought we did a pretty good job of it.
And they didn't have their best player, or one of their best players. Their big acquisition, Timo Meier, didn't play.
Yeah, but he's
after the hit.
But
sure.
He had 0 points against the Rangers. So let's call it what it is. But don't give me the, I will say this for Devils fans. Don't give them like Canes are without Teravainen,
sure.
Svechnikov, Pacioretty.
Right, but they knew those guys were. The Pacioretty, everyone keeps saying they're without Pacioretty. He played 6 games for him this year?
He played 5 games and he scored 3 goals. And it was noticeable on the ice when he was out there, like, oh, this dude's a goal scorer. But yes, go on.
Yeah, and I'm not making excuses for the Devils, but you play the Game 7. You're missing a key component of your team. I think this was the outcome that if you're the Carolina Hurricanes and you didn't come out and take care of business, you'd be worried. But you came out, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. You jumped on a team early, never let them get back in the game. And now you're up 1-0 in a series that, a lot of people thought the Devils might be favored. I was looking... Two-thirds of the ESPN experts picked the Devils in this series.
Yes, those people. Those people. Well, you mentioned a moment ago how big the Seth Jarvis goal was. This will bring up the second big thing here at 3 o'clock. Seth Jarvis last night was phenomenal. He was good in the playoffs last year, but we're actually starting to see him turn things up here in the playoffs now. The goal that he scored yesterday in the first period, Canes were up 1-0. He just takes the puck away along the boards in the defensive zone, away from Ryan Graves, the defenseman for the New Jersey Devils. Just chips the puck past him, just burns him down the ice, just completely dusts Ryan Graves. Like, he went full on like hyperdrive, like full on hyperspeed.
That was impressive.
Just 1-on-0 basically with the goalie, because it was a 2-on-1, but he just beat Schmid while by himself, unassisted goal, and it was just, the place just blew up. The place, like, PNC was just insane at that point. It's like, and the Devils just kind of looked like oh.
Well, here's the guy who scored 14 goals in 82 games.
Yeah.
He's got 3 goals in 7 playoff games. I mean, when you want to win a Stanley Cup, that's what you need. You need guys who, to do the unexpected a little bit. 14 goals in 82 games, fine. He's going to score every other game. The Hurricanes are going to be just fine here in the playoffs.
And the impressive part for him was what he was doing defensively. And it was the defensive play that led to his goal. He broke up a ton of passes in the defensive zone. He also blocked a goal. I know he wasn't officially credited with a blocked shot yesterday. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I saw him block like 3 shots yesterday. Not sure who's keeping stats up there, but no, I'm pretty sure I saw him block a few shots. But here's Rob Brindamore on Seth Jarvis's performance last night.
We saw the glimpses of it last year, this time, and then this year, again, I think the numbers weren't there necessarily, but we talked about him a lot. I didn't think he was playing poorly. Things just didn't click, and obviously he's a pretty dynamic player for us. And again, I keep bringing it up, but we with the guys we have out, we need him to put it in the puck in the net, because we're missing some pieces there. So he's picked up the slack for sure.
Rob was spot on. Like, hey, like you said, 3 goals in 7 playoff games so far, but he's contributing in other ways more than just on the score sheet. But he's chipping in the way he needs to.
Yeah, and you mentioned all the guys they have out. A lot of goal scorers are out. A lot of guys
a lot of goals.
Yeah, and so you've got to find that replacement from somewhere. The defense finally got into the scoring act.
Yeah,
in this game, 2 goals from defensemen and a goal from Jarvis. I mean, that's a recipe for success. Day in and day out for this team.
Goal scoring throughout the lineup. But you mentioned Pesce and Shea both had goals yesterday from the defense. Jarvis had the goal. Kokiniemi, who had yet to score in the playoffs so far, he got a goal, and Jesper Foss had an empty netter yesterday as well. All-around great game.
And I thought Jordan Staal really deserved all the credit for that goal.
Staal was such a workhorse. He had multiple assists last night as well. That empty netter by Foss. He was actually the reason why the first goal of the game was scored by Brett Pesce on a faceoff. The Canes had a great shift where they kept the Devils in their defensive zone. They iced the puck so they couldn't change lines. All those guys for the Devils were tired. Well, you throw out your best face-off guy. Staal wins it right back to Pesce, and Pesce just fires it through traffic and beats Schmid. It was great.
We haven't even talked about the goaltending situation, but Anderson did a fine job.
Anderson was fine.